so, and then the C were those with the S's. So they reduce the results in phases. But because of the share numbers, I mean, obviously, if you have about 480 going to write an exam, and you are ending up with about 105 moving to the next level, you have a gap of almost over 300,000. Naturally, it will sound as if everybody is failing, because it's like almost like 1 in 5. But you are trying to tailor the thing towards the end that it is manageable. Other than that, the next stage, I mean, we could have just said that, look, anybody who wrote the aptitude test, go and do medicals. What we will simply do with the greater respect, we will have just created business for the laboratories. They will take the money when you know. You see, when we opened the portal, we didn't know the number. Now we know, well, we didn't know how many people will come in. Now we know how many have come in, and we know how many we are taking. So if you don't manage it, you'll be creating more chaos as you move forward. Yes.
Prime Minister, I just spoke with somebody who has been disqualified, and she was asking me if I know somebody who can help her. Why? She believes protocol is working because she knows somebody who answered only 3 questions and passed. She answered 20 questions. She has been failed. And they spoke to somebody who is willing to help. Somebody has paid, and the person has gotten, they are demanding 20,000. Who is responsible? He said they were told by one officer that there was somebody who is in charge. What role is protocol playing in this?
I'll be most grateful if you give us details of this information. We'll go and arrest that person. Because so far we are concerned, nobody has hand in this. So if somebody like this lady, let her come forward to tell me that, look, I wrote the exam with Muntaka, because the thing is individual. Your camera is on you. Come and tell me that Muntaka answered only 2 questions. We can pull his information and see. Did he really answer 2 questions and pass? While she answered 20 and failed? We can pull those data. If they said that somebody was told that somebody had paid money to somebody, we need to know that somebody. Because you see, since we started this process, I've told you a number of times, we've done, I think, about 5 arrests. In fact, the 5th one was prison officers, 2 prison officers who were apprehended. And they are not being investigated. We are taking them through the due process. We are firm. Because it's a human institution, I cannot stand here and play God and play angel that nobody is doing it. That's why I say, if you hear anything, if you see anything, let us know. And we are working with NIB, National Signal Bureau. We are working with National Investigative Bureau. We are working with Police Intelligence Department. We are working with the CID. We are putting all our arsenal to make sure that nobody takes advantage of any youth in this process. So if somebody says somebody can pay money to somebody, let us know, and you see whether we act or not.
Minister,
yes.
Many of the things that are coming from internally,
yeah.
especially your colleagues MPs, they raise the issue that the age limit will not favor their party. I've never heard you responding to some of these allegations. How are you?
Well, I mean, like I've said, without time, without number, I really wish that we could have a way of doing this without hurting anybody. I really wish that we had a way of absorbing all the over 500,000 Ghanaians who have shown interest. But we all know that that is not practical. And to be able to do this, definitely, you have to go through a process that painfully, some will have to fall along. But I can bet you that we are acting in the best national interest. We are acting to make sure that the right people get in. We'll continue to do the very best that we can, as much as possible. But this is the practical reality that comforts us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So they are concerned that qualified applicants within the Northeast and then the Savannah region are being directed to go and do their medicals in Tamale. So if there will be some opportunity.
Well, I mean, one of the things that I know is that in the time past, I'm happy you raised this, in the time past, all medicals were done in Accra. All medicals. Wherever where you are, you have to come to Accra. I insisted that, look, can we send the medical centers closer to the people? So I don't want a situation where you just choose 1 or 2 places. And then they try to cluster. So for example, they put maybe Western, Central. I think this was when they were giving us briefing this moment, myself and my deputy. They say Western and Central are being done in certain locations. So they've done the clustering. At least it's an improvement upon the last time where everybody has to come to Accra. Our hope is that maybe by the next time we'll be doing this, it should be able to do it in every regional capital. our even hope is that if it is possible to do it at every district capital so that nobody has to incur so much cost in trying to get to the center to do anything. You saw that the screening, we did it in all the regional capitals. The medicals, our wish would have been to do the same, but they had to cluster some of them for the ease, because some of the facilities that you require are not in some of the regional capitals. Even where they have personnel and other things were challenged. So we accepted, okay, do the cluster this time. Next time around, we'll have to ensure that we are able to go to every region. So those who may be complaining, we are sorry, but at least it's better than coming to Accra. But we want to even make it better next time. Thank you so much.
So you just heard the voice of the Interior Minister, Honorable Muntaka.
You can say Interior Muntaka.
Exactly.
That too
I was
is
about
fine.
to say.
That too is accepted. We'll subject some of the things he said to strict analysis. But before that, just like I was saying, let me do this quick birthday wish before we go. And today is the birthday of a very special individual. I like the way you did the home. It's not my special individual. I'm just a conveyor belt.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just here to convey an important information. So it's the birthday of a very special individual who has very, very significant aura around there. In fact, if Mark was to show you the picture, you will see that the aura she is given indicates that this is a woman who eventually, hopefully, and inshallah, will become first lady.
Oh, okay.
Will become a very powerful person in society. Okay, so today is her birthday, and the director for the Ashanti Regional National Service has ordered me to wish her a special happy birthday. He said that she's someone that is very special. She's someone that he has been admiring her growth and her journey, and he's confident that she will reach her full potentials. And it's great. She's a great personality for her community, for her family, for her friends, and her colleagues. And so, as she's celebrating her birthday, he's praying for Allah's blessings, for Allah's grace, for health, for wealth, for guidance and protection, so that she will live to achieve whatever she is aspiring to achieve. So, Aisha Fuseni is your name, and today happens to be your birthday, and we are all joining Mr. Finn Reagan in wishing you a special, special, special happy birthday. Make sure you enjoy yourself. So that's their birthday. You wanted to say something?
I was just going to say happy birthday to a special Aisha.
Yes.
That's all. But then, so a special birthday going out to you.
It's a very special one.
From everyone.
She herself, she looks very special. So.
Yeah, from everyone on the morning show.
Absolutely.
Especially Alfa Ali.
Especially me.
Yeah.
But the message was from Finn,
Happy
Director
birthday
for
to you.
National Service, Ashanti Region.
Yeah. A very happy, wonderful birthday.
I don't know which agenda you're cooking, but whatever you're cooking,
Okay.
let's get into the...
Back to the Interior Minister.
Okay, let's get back to Interior Muntaka. And that's the description of Janice Opoku-Agyeman. So, the minister touched on a number of things.
Yes.
I think the central argument of the minister is that we are seeking to do this in the national interest. Based on what the minister said, he seems to be telling me that we are not supposed to joke with our security institutions. Based on what the minister said.
Are you getting all of that because he's your MP?
No.
Okay.
The impression I get, at least from what he said, is that he thinks that the security institutions are very, very critical institutions of our country.
Yeah, I think that is what he started by saying.
Okay, and you don't just pick anybody
To go and do it.
to go into the security services, because you are taking people who are going to take decisions that are going to ensure whether this country is safe or not. So he thinks that some caliber of people, certain requirements are supposed to be met by people who aspire to work into or in the various security services. So it's another impression I get from what he has said. The other thing he has said is that they've had security people who did not meet the standard and couldn't do the basic things that a security personnel is expected to do in line of his work. And so he believes that you must have standard. You must be able to have yardstick of determining who qualifies and who cannot qualify or who will not qualify. And so he seems to be telling me that that's what they have done. The other thing he talks about, and I'll tell you whether I agree or disagree, I'm just trying to recapture some of the key things that he pointed out. The other thing he talked about, Janice, was that he knows that the rank and file of the NDC are indeed complaining. But he says that, okay, let's assume they were not going to open this up to the entirety of Ghanaians and that they were going to limit it to the members of the NDC and say, well, we're going to recruit those who served as polling station agents. He gave me a number. I guess the NDC people will be able to confirm or deny whether the number is accurate. But he says that the people who served as polling station agents on behalf of the NDC were up to around more than 100,000 people. So he said, even if we're going to restrict it or limit it to these cohort or this cohort, what it means is that you can't just appoint anybody, because you can't appoint or you can't recruit 105 or more than 100,000 persons. So even if you were to limit it to the NDC folks, there will still be a yardstick or a standard to determine who gets in and who will not get in. So regardless of how you look at it, some people will be disappointed, some people will get in. That's the argument he is putting forward. The other thing he talks about is that, well, now, and he gives some numbers, and the numbers that I've already pointed out. He even said close to 500,000, or did he say more than 500,000, something like that. But let's work with, say, 500,000 or 400,000, whichever. Out of which 105,000 persons have qualified to go through the medical process. And then 5,000 will be picked. I think that at this point in time, I want to say, if what Muntaka said or the impression I got is accurate about the mode of recruitment and ensuring that people meet certain standards, I agree with him. I agree with him that in the national interest, this cannot be given to just NDC people. Do you get the point?
I do.
And that we must open it up for people to compete. If I were an NDC member, I would have appreciated where they are coming from, to the extent that we've also worked, we've sacrificed, we've contributed, and this is an opportunity. So we must get some quote-unquote preferential treatment. But that's why I say, even when you want to get preferential treatment, you must have certain requirements. I think you must be able to move past the first stage. You must have certain things that will ensure that at least you are part of the 105,000. Do you get my point, Janice? So if after the 105,000, we'll look through and say, okay, now you've passed. You can get in. You have the things that we are looking for. So now your added advantage will be that, well, you are a member of the NDC. So because you qualify and you can be in the security service and you are a member of the NDC, maybe we can say, okay, let's give you some special dispensation. that will not be too weird. It will not be too, do you get the point? But you cannot say, even if I don't have the capability of moving past the first stage, you should still pick me because I'm a member of the Green Party.
Now, Alpha, if we are being objective about it, then what the minister is saying makes sense. It makes absolute sense. But like I said, people have received certain promises and they have certain expectations that they want you to meet now that you are in power, because you told us things when you were in opposition and we worked hard so that you get into government and then give us what we deserve or what we think you can give us. And so I understand them from that angle. And then he also spoke about the required examination, that you have to know how to do certain things. You have to have a certain knowledge before you can pass through the system. And so they can't just allow everyone to go through it. But I think the difficulty with that is, if you know a police who you think that, oh, this person, they asked for this person. If I gauge myself, I know that I know better than this person who has been recruited. And then we all know that there are people in the police system who cannot even write a statement. There are people like that, Alpha.
Okay.
I've
never encountered that.
You haven't. There are people like that.
Who can't even speak.
They can speak, language. But then they can't
write. Okay.
Appropriately. And so you see, you have certain loops in the police system that you think that, oh, it will make people criticize this government. You know, it's a system that has been running for long. And so when you try to sort of change things, then you're going to face some opposition to it. And then there's also the factor that someone questioned the minister about, that there are people who are saying that protocol is working, that people failed the test or they performed poorly during the test, but they are now paying people so that they get recruitment into the police service.
The minister may deny it.
He said that. No, he didn't deny it. He said that he wished he could have
those information to be made available to
exactly
him. But because
this
it's Ghana, Janice, I will not be surprised though.
I won't be surprised. So yes, I think that I want to believe that, because in any system there are things like that happening. Even in NSS, there are people who do special posting.
I wouldn't be surprised.
SHS, there are people who pay money to go to certain schools that they didn't get.
So at every point, you see those opportunities are available for some who can afford.
Exactly, so you see things like that. And then he also said that he would be glad if they could give him the details of that.
And I'll be glad if that person will give that information.
But the thing is, they are not going to tell you, because then it's benefiting someone. You know, if someone is taking 20, exactly, some people are benefiting from it. And so
I guess that's what will infuriate the NDC folks the more. If they realize that, well, there is such a window.
Exactly.
And people are using, and because they can afford, they are getting into it. And we, because, of course, we cannot afford, we are here, and we've not been granted those opportunities. I think if it becomes confirmed that indeed some, and you know, in Ghana, I know that a lot of our listeners will not be surprised. They will be thinking, well, this is Ghana, this is normal, it's common.
Exactly.
It's something that happened. So that will be unfortunate, and that may be one of the reasons why a lot of the NDC folks might be very incensed about whatever is happening. But I just want to say that for the NDC part of the conversation, I think that, yes, just like you said, some promises were made. And I don't know who made those promises. I'm told. And I think that, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen a video of some sort that depicts President Mahama. Not depicts, because it's President Mahama making similar promises to the polling station agent. That, yes, I know you are going to be given such an opportunity. So on that level, they are right in demanding that for them. If I were in their shoes, not in their shoes, even thinking along those lines, it sounds okay that if I have been made a promise, it's right that if the person who made the promise is now enjoying whatever he sought from me, then it's right that I demand that, well, you made this promise to me, so when are you going to fulfill it? So it makes sense.
It does.
But I'm saying that if I look at the minister's argument as well, That will make sense.
Now, you know,
But the middle ground could be, okay, let's say we are going to give a quota to the NDC people. Maybe it's not publicized, but in their heads, there's something they're doing. It cannot be for all.
yeah, and I
Not
think
every member of the NDC will get the opportunity.
He even made that point that they are supposed to select 5,000 people. And so if you have the huge numbers that applying,
Yeah.
it will mean that almost like 1 in every 5 will
Yes.
get chosen. And so what that essentially will project is that almost everyone is getting
And
turned down.
and he said that even if you were going to limit it to
The
NDC
polls.
polling agents, there
No,
were
everyone
100
will
and
get
something
in.
thousand. So even with that, there will still be a lot more who will be rejected, even with that number. Because if there are 100,000 and they were picking 5,000, it means that about 95,000 will not get in. So this level of disappointment will still be felt. So I am saying that even if you are an NDC person and you think that you've been made a promise, there's difference between what is promised by a political party and what is actually done by that political party when they eventually form government. Because for that, at that level, they're not just thinking about the NDC, but they're thinking about the nation to some extent as well. So you must have some special capabilities. You can't say because I'm Janice and I'm a very beautiful young lady supporting NDC, NDC is in power. Take me to the police, let me go and work.
Now,
It's not going to happen like that.
yesterday, when I saw the video, I was following the live chat on Facebook. It looks like the minister's explanation
Was
rather
not
angered
The people
base
them more. Oh, why?
because the way they were replying in the chat session, that he's just telling them rubbish.
No, but what do they expect practically? What could he have done? Expand, okay, maybe say, apart from 5, maybe beyond 5,000, let's do 10,000.
It's
Or say that, okay, we are picking just NDC folks. But I've told you, and I agree with his argument, that even if you're picking 5,000 from just NDC, still there are some
people are going
NDC
to-
people who will not get in. So it's a bit, it's not a very simple issue like that. Though. Do you get the point? So at every point, some people will be disappointed
yeah.
because you cannot pick all because we are limited.
It's the backdoor things that are happening that are making people very angry.
If
because
indeed that option is available to
yeah.
some, then they too, they are right in expressing that
because
level
you
of
see,
frustration.
you see someone who didn't qualify and suddenly the person
Has gotten in.
exactly.
So how did the person get in? So it's a question that we need to ask now. Moving away from the party lines and coming to the nation. I think every now and then, when these security agencies are recruiting people or kickstart the process to recruit people, it highlights one thing that we have deliberately decided not to pay much attention to. The number of people,
Who are interested.
the number of young people in this country, Janice, who are desperately looking for opportunities to work. And they are not getting it. The number of young people in this country who are ready to work but have not afforded or have not been given the opportunities to work. The number of young people who are desperate and they want to start a life. And they know that to start a life, you must be economically engaged. And they are willing and they have put in effort to get into spaces where they will be economically engaged, where they will be productive. Yet they have not been granted these opportunities. It's humongous. And I keep saying that is a serious security concern. But unfortunately, as usual with the Ghanaian people, as usual with our culture, we pretend that problem is not in existence. And we gloss over it periodically, yearly. It has become a ritual. We talk about it on the media platforms. The people who have been clothed with the authority to look into these matters and begin to provide solutions to the problem do not seem to be able to do that. And let's ask ourselves a very fundamental question, and I think you asked that question. if 500,000 or 400,000 persons have expressed interest to get into the security agency, and they did not stop at interest or at expressing interest. In fact, they acted upon that, brought forms, went through the process, and they have been disqualified. About 400,000 of them will not get into these security agencies. What happens to them? Where would they go? What have they been doing?
Wait for the next.
Because I can say, okay, maybe out of the 400,000, maybe 100,000 are already working in some places. Okay. But even that, you will ask yourself if that is sustainable. But let's assume they just want to get, there are people who want to wear their immigration, I'm assuming, it looks nice. So they want to wear their immigration uniform and work in the immigration, fire service, whatever. Let's say these people, out of the 400,000, around 100,000, and I'm being overly generous in more or less dedicating this number. But yes, let's work with that. The 300,000 that genuinely may be in desperate search of employment opportunities, when they get disqualified from this recruitment process, what happens to them? What has been happening to them? How have they been surviving in this country? What have they been doing to survive? Who cares about their survival? And what has those desperations led them into doing? How, to what extent has that lack of opportunity frustrated them to the extent that they have been engaging in things that they themselves are not proud of? Have we thought about it? Because they are young people. A lot of them, they are ready, willing to work. A lot of them want to start life. A lot of them have reached ages where you are, okay, by now, certain basic things should be available to you. Yet there are a lot of them who are still dependent on their parents to survive. Just food. There are people at the age of 25, 26, they have finished school, university. Some at the age of 30. And if their mothers, if their fathers do not extend something to them, they are not going to be able to buy food.
One of the most painful things, Alpha, in this life is when your parents have invested so much in you, so much in your education, and then when you come out of university, you are not getting a job, and you have to go back to them so that they can help you survive the system. But I think there are certain problems in this country that have become part of our lifestyle. One of those problems is unemployment. It's like we talk about it every day until now it's normal. If you are not finding a job, you are not any different from the hundreds of thousands of Ghanaians who are also unemployed and jobless. And just
Janice, I am employed. I take salary every month, but I'm struggling to survive. No, I want to tell you the honest truth.
Yes.
I am employed.
Yeah.
I take salary every month. In fact, I don't even have dependents as we speak. Even though, yes, I may.
About to
But I'm struggling to survive. And I'm thinking about that young man who finished school 3 years ago, has done his national service. He finished school at the age of 23, or maybe 22, whatsoever. Done his national service. Has been waiting for 3 years. Has still not gotten a job. He's now 25. Where is he sleeping? What is he wearing? What is he eating? How is he living? What kind of future does he anticipate?
I have seen.
How desperate is he?
I have seen very desperate young people. I don't know, because of what I'm exposed to. I've seen people from all walks of life. I've seen very promising people, Alpha, graduates from university, do their national service, and they are brilliant.
Very.
And they are not finding jobs. And right now, when you see them, you can see the frustration. You can see the desperation on their faces.
And this morning, I want to take the opportunity. I've been saying it. Please, if you get lucky to be in government, just spend some time and go through our various communities and see the kind of life young people are living. It will give you a sense of the level of desperation amongst our young people. It's not looking good. So any government official, you must not have peace of mind seeing the kinds of life our young people are living in this country. And some of them are not asking for too much. They're just asking for a way to survive. They're just asking for a way to secure their daily bread. They're just asking for a way to be able to not to live a kind of life where they will not be picking phones and asking or begging people for money every day. And engaging in quick loans to the extent that MTN will block whatever, they can't even borrow again. Betting. And that when Man City loses, it's like they are insulting everybody. It's not because it is Man City that has lost that is. No. It goes beyond that. They have invested in it. That is how they survive. And that has been blocked.
My appeal this morning will be to the young people that if you are in first year, before you even approach tertiary education, you should start thinking about plan A, plan B, plan C. Because this issue that we are talking about, don't think that by the time you get to final year, it's going to be any difference for you. Because year in, year out, we talk about
it's getting worse.
Yes, we keep on adding to the number of people that we have that have no jobs in this country. Every year, the number goes higher. And so, if you are a young person, if you are now entering tertiary education, you should be aware of the situation you are in, the situation you've been born into.
And you don't just have to be aware. Just begin to think about solutions.
Exactly.
Would you need to add some skills to whatever education you are getting? I think that at this point in time, I can confidently say that we as a people have disappointed our young people. We have made their lives very vulnerable. We have exposed them. In fact, we have embarrassed them. We have subjected them to public ridicule. We have made them feel sometimes that it's not like being a Ghanaian is more or less a sin, or is a way of being punished. It's like the system has created an environment that's a you because you have allowed yourself to be born into Ghana. We are going to punish you. And that okay.
He said that when you are an African child, the very nature of the things that you receive will make you think, because you are never going to have enough. So when you have less, your brain should be hot. You should be thinking every day, because you are never, from the very early stage, you should be aware, unless maybe, of course, you are born into certain families that are doing well. But if you are born into a normal African home, a normal Ghanaian home, you should be aware that sufficiency is difficult to attain. So every time it's like you have less than you need. Every single time, at every point in your life.
And I'm not saying we can build a system where everybody will get whatever he wants or she wants. But I'm also saying that you should build a system where if I try, things will be okay.
Yes.
Like I don't have to keep trying and still like you can be working hard, but still
there was this debate.
You're struggling to survive in Ghana.
On social media, where some people were saying that, people think that the youth in Ghana, most of them are lazy. That is why they are not doing well. And someone was also saying that, no, that is not true. We just have people working hard in the wrong country. Because you take these same people, you give them the opportunities elsewhere, and they become breadwinners.
So let's be charitable to. I mean, a lot of these political parties, it is their youth that serves as the engine and the legs of these parties. Let's give them some hope. Let's change the narrative, and that's why I keep saying to the NDC government, you are in your second year. In my view, the biggest promise you give to the Ghanaian people was 24-hour economy. If you fail in implementing 24-hour economy, it means the government of the NDC is a total failure. I'm telling you the honest truth. If you fail in providing jobs to the teeming young people in this country, It means you had no business being in government in the first place. Because it means that the very thing you promised, you couldn't do it. So I'm begging you, anybody who is in government, don't think that you are enjoying who. You should be thinking. Because I'm saying that our ability to provide opportunities for young people will determine whether or not this democracy will be sustained over a long period or not. And I'm being realistic. President Mahama, when he was sworn in himself, said that it is time for politicians to change the impression that people have about this democracy. And that we need to let them have hope in this democratic system. And that we need to govern in a way that tells the young people that, oh, it is good to live in Ghana and work hard and contribute to nation's development. If we do not give them jobs, to at least to get something to buy food, to get something to rent a room, to get something to buy clothes and put on, to live, to marry, to give birth, to take care of people in school, to be able to send money to their old ladies in the villages for them to buy medicine and buy food. If we don't grant them that, and we continue to leave them in this, environment of despondency, what is going to happen is that they will get to a stage where some of them will react to these things in a way that we don't like. And they will be celebrating people who have done certain things that is not consistent with the kind of democratic system we have. So please, it is in the interest of this democracy that we give opportunities for young people. I'm not saying some of them have not gotten opportunities. Some of them have gotten. But I'm saying that the large section of our youth are still, they are still,
Still struggling.
Struggling. And we need to do something about it, Janice. It's very critical. And that's why I keep saying, and I'll keep saying it. 24-hour economy for me is the yardstick with which I will assess the performance of the NDC. And I want to see the 133 being realistic, not just political whatever. It should reflect. Should reflect in the lives of the people, in the lived experiences of people in this country. I should see an institution where some young people will go at night, return. Some young people will go in the day. Some young people will return. Some people will go in the afternoon. So that a work that was producing or employing 5 people will now employ 15 people. That's when I'll say this government have really solved a very, very serious problem, which is lack of opportunities for our young people.
All right. Every time you talk about the unemployment issue, my heart breaks because, like, when you look around, you can see the desperation, you can see the frustration. You can look around and then I see people who are not working. In the same way, that is why I was saying that last time when the president in the State of Nation address said that I think over 1 million Ghanaians have found jobs. I was saying that we should see that, right? I should see someone around, maybe a friend, a neighbor, a classmate, someone that I can point to and say that, oh, this person used to stay at home all the time.
Now and
now the person is working. So I believe that when we talk about things like economic stability, economic development, when we talk about opportunity creation, we should see it. It shouldn't be something that is just
abstract.
the theoretical concepts that we keep on saying that, good things are happening in the system. Ghana is going forward. It should reflect in the lives of people, and then we should be able to point that at this point in time, we're here. Now, because of good governance, because of good policies, we've gotten better. We've gotten in a better position. Anyway, 054-102-2318, 054-102-2318. I think we can start picking calls now. Okay, we have a first caller. Hello?
Hi, Jenny.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mr. Bedru.
Let me first of all touch on the very issue that Alfa talked about with regard to the farming and agri sector, because I have a lot of interest in it. You see, agri is the backbone of every country that is serious